Okay, and we should be back live. I don't know what happened there. I am so sorry. My computer did freeze. So that is why that did happen. Sorry, hopefully that won't happen again. That's the first time this computer has ever done that to me. Hopefully it will not, happen again. But either way, at this time, we were explaining just before my computer froze up how the energy of the atmosphere helps these hurricanes strengthen. So I was talking about Maria here, and I'm going. People do come back. Hopefully people do. And I'm just going to begin explaining this in hopes that people are back by the time that 30-second delay or so is back. If not, just let me know. And hopefully the stream is back online for everyone. So let's get started. Here it is, Maria. So why am I fearful of Maria, and how could it still be rapidly intensifying is a Category 5. Well, first of all, right before you see the nightfall, you see this thing go boom and just explode. You can see the thunderstorms just explode right before the final frame of that image, before it does go into the nighttime mode. Though after that, you can see that the system is still looking to be intensifying, and you can see how there's this counterclockwise flow. That's how these storms like to rotate. But here's something that you probably haven't noticed, is that there's a clockwise flow as well above it. Now it's kind of hard to see, especially to the unwell-trained eye. If you do have a well-trained eye, you can probably see it. But most people probably won't be able to see it. But something else here that's concerning is that you see how these clouds are extending down to the equator. This is Hurricane Maria's outflow. And what outflow is its way of getting energy and releasing energy. So what it'll do is it'll reach... Here we go. I'm sorry. I'm opening up something to ensure that my computer is okay. And just seeing if it's overheating. Seeing if that's the issue. Let me see. Okay, there we go. It does not look as if the computer is overheating. So that is some good news. I don't know what is causing this problem, but I'm trying to figure it out, guys, because I don't like it that this computer is kind of struggling. Does not look like it's a heat issue, though, luckily. So I'm just going to continue to talk about this equatorward outflow that's going on here, and hopefully things can just continue as usual. So I'm going to actually exit out here and go to microcasting radar, which is struggling. It looks as if microcasting radar is struggling to maintain itself. So this is a problem. Sorry about that. And I'm going to try and get microcasting radar back up here in just a second. So while I do that, I'm just going to put up the official National Hurricane Center graphical outlook for you to feast your eyes on. But there it is, the NHC's official outlook on Maria. So there it is for us all to look at. There we go. Now it's small enough to look at. So there we go. Now I'm going to attempt to get microcasting radar back up and running. There we go. Let's see if it's working. No, it's struggling to function. Alright, so I'm attempting to fix this right now. Hopefully I can get this fixed up. Sorry for all the technical issues. Hopefully those will end here fairly shortly. Fairly shortly indeed. So So here we are. Hopefully microcasting radar is back. Still struggling though a little bit. Not quite as much. There you go. Microcasting radar is back. So yeah, sorry about all the technical difficulties. Hopefully that's the last of those. But here we are now back with microcasting radar showing Hurricane Jose at this time, which is causing us some problems. So let's just go over what exactly is going on. So if we look at Jose right now, this is a Category 1 hurricane, and it has winds of approximately 75 miles per hour, which means that it is a minimal hurricane. If we look there, actually it is now, apparently according to this, a Tropical Storm Jose, with winds of 74 miles per hour, so it's technically maybe not a hurricane. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more of a problem now from microcasting radar again. So sorry if you guys just may have to deal with it being a little bit more choppy than usual. I don't know what to do about that. Hopefully it's just a spontaneous kind of thing. But if not, hopefully we can get around it. But here it is, Jose. Trying to get it over here to where you can see it just fine. But here's what I'll do. I'll just keep it like this and see if it can improve itself again. But while we're waiting for microcasting radar to at least attempt to sort itself out, here's what I can say. I can say that Jose is really going to be a troublemaker over these next couple of days for the Northeast, but surprisingly enough, Jose is not our main concern here. So here we go. So microcasting radar can't really cover this system here very well that I'm about to look at. Satellite wise, at least I don't think. I'm going to try and get things to function properly. Microcasting radar though has been having a few problems lately. I've been attempting to fix those up, but unfortunately it has not been doing as I ask. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here, there we go, and there you go. This is Hurricane Maria's forecast track. This is Hurricane Maria's forecasted track and intensity according to the National Hurricane Center. So you can see those numbers though. Those are the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale categories, and this is what you can expect from it. Once again, sorry that microcasting radar is so choppy. It's just something we may have to deal with tonight. But either way, here it is now. Category 5 system. Very dangerous. This is the most dangerous category that you can get with a hurricane. This is just as strong as Irma, so just be ready. Irma was a very strong storm, stronger than Harvey. This is stronger than Hurricane Harvey that just happened and is approaching the same strength as Hurricane Katrina. So this is something that we just really need to be looking at. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is for now not looking like an immediate threat to the United States, but it's looking like down the line it could have some more dire impacts. So let's get into a little bit more detail. First, I will activate microcasting radar's futurecast, which is one of the few things that does seem to be working with it tonight. And here we are now. This is at about 4 p.m. today. So here we are now at around 7 o'clock. So this is about half an hour or so ago now. So if we're at about half an hour ago, this is where we're at now. So we're going to see, this is at 10 p.m. tonight. And it's going to continue to advance. And here it is now over Puerto Rico. This is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll be seeing this hurricane, Hurricane Maria, over Puerto Rico. That's kind of worrying. So while at least I'm in school, um, this will be going over Puerto Rico, unfortunately, meaning I will not be able to cover this live. Um, Continuing to advance Futurecast, though. Here we are continuing, and it gets out of Puerto Rico and towards Hispaniola. This is at 1 a.m. on the 21st, Central Time. And continuing along, you can see it's actually getting stronger with those purples. And here it is now, and those where the white is, where the purple transitions to the white, those are tropical storm force winds, and the bright yellowish orange is the hurricane force winds. So not just the orange, but the bright yellowish orange, that is the hurricane force winds. And then the purple is where the category 3 and above hurricane force winds are, according to this model. So looking at this continuing to advance, things are looking pretty good for the U.S. right now. We're not seeing an immediate threat. This is on the 23rd at 1 a.m., and we're still not seeing any United States threat. Continue to advance, continue to advance, continue to advance. Now, here we are. This is 4 days' time. This is at 1 p.m. on the 23rd. And here is what I gotta say. This hurricane, if we took a look at the steering currents right now, we'd probably be thinking this would head out to sea. Straight out to sea. But unfortunately, that may not be the case. And you know why? Because of Jose. Hurricane Jose will have a steering influence on Maria as it does weaken down, as it will cause the two to rotate around each other, and that will cause this to maybe go out to Bermuda, but then it's going to go right back in and slam right into, and I mean like right into New York. That's what it's looking like could happen. And here's what the forecast model thinks of it. The Futurecast, the microcasting radar Futurecast, shows this very powerful hurricane here. Very powerful. Now it does show, though, Jose beginning to fizzle out, but it shows an incredible wind field here. 40 miles an hour above which is 35 knots. That's incredible how far out those expand. So then you see this continue to go up. And here we are now. This is on September 25th at 4 a.m. And we're seeing tropical storm force winds off the coast of North Carolina. And while those aren't overly dangerous, those are still dangerous enough that they need to be watched closely. So continuing to look. Here we are now. This is at 10 a.m. on the 25th. Here we are now, 1 p.m. We're starting to see very strong tropical storm force winds hitting the coast. This is a problem, and is something that will continue to probably be a problem. So then, as time does go on, this continues up and begins to continue this weakening trend. Still, though, a hurricane, where you see those greens, those are still very strong winds. Those are above hurricane force. And that bright yellow that I was telling you about is hurricane force. So you can see still a hurricane. And does this look familiar to you? It looks familiar to me. It looks familiar to not something way in the past, but right now. I mean, look at this. This is Jose right now. Look, Jose right now. "165 hours. There's Maria. I mean, it doesn't look that much different. If you really think about it, it doesn't look that much different at all. Now, as I've said on my streams and on my videos, Winds are not the primary threat with these systems. No matter how much people emphasize them, they are not the primary threat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a product that shows wave heights for you. And we're going to use still the same futurecast that was being used here. So here we are, just a second. There we are. And this is Jose right now. And what are the wave heights of Jose? 27 feet. Those are off the coast, though. What are the heights of Maria? Maria's wave heights, 26 feet. Not that much higher than Jose, but that's because Jose's gigantic and this storm is small. So here we are now. What kind of waves can the people in Puerto Rico be expecting? You can be expecting 25 feet waves slamming into your shores, 22-foot waves, 14-foot waves, 25-foot waves. So it's not going to be good. Maria moves out and really starts to pick up waves. 36 feet. That's Irma. Irma had waves that high. And look what it did to Florida. So now, continuing to look at this. This is 10 a.m. on Thursday. Here it is, continuing to head up with very high waves. 41 feet. 41 feet. You don't see that every day, don't you? And you can see Maria's wave impacts last 8 feet here. Still not bringing much high surf to the United States, though. So if we show this over here, this is now a monster when it comes to wave heights. 45 feet, 46 feet. That's insane. That's just insane. You don't see that a lot. And if we continue to head up here, look at how high the waves are on not just, and this is way far away from the storm. If I bring around radar, this is the center, this is the core, and this is the hurricane itself. Massive, but not really impacting the coast with that high of winds. Look at the wave heights here, folks. 12-foot waves into Florida. 12-foot, 9-foot waves. Up to 13 feet waves on the coast. That's dangerous, people. That's very dangerous and is not something to scoff at. And this is when the hurricane is nowhere near you. Nowhere near you. And look at this. The waves do begin to shrink some, which is some good news. You can see it physically there. Still, though, waves up to 40 feet. And now North Carolina is getting waves 16 feet. 27 feet. Look at that. That is insane, and that is what Maria could do if this future casting is correct. Now, this is the GFS forecast model. You can look it up, and you can see how good this model is. This is a great model. It's not quite as good as the ECMWF, and I will be showing you its wave shortly. But I primarily use the GFS because it offers more products for analysis, while the ECMWF offers less products, but tend to be a little more accurate. So, this does offer waves, the ECMWF. So after I show you the rest of the GFS, and this is at 1 a.m. This is at 1 a.m. There. So this is at 1 a.m. on Tuesday. Okay. So, looking at the system, I mean, let's just continue to look at it. This is getting towards New York here. 18 feet, 15 feet. 42-foot waves still with Maria. And let's see what it says the winds are. Just for fun. Category 2. Category 2 hurricane up here. Well, Category 2. We see this move just north of New York. But what? What is New Jersey going to get? 17-foot waves. Those are high waves, folks. this is as far out as I can go. So let's go back to the starting point and now see what the ECMWF thinks. What are its thoughts? It shows this having 30-foot waves at this point. Slamming in and then growing in wave height. Just like the GFS. Just like the other model, now showing 34-foot waves. 34-foot waves, look at this. Look at it. And look at those wave heights. And look at how far it shows this influence being. High surf already throughout all the states because it's showing Jose here as well. Look at this wave expansion. This is headed straight towards the United Kingdom. Guess what this is? This is Irma. This is Irma. So you want to be looking out for that if you're up in the United Kingdom area. But here we are now, 37 feet. Still looking though. This is Sunday at 1 p.m. And what are the maximum wave heights of Maria? 38 feet. That is a lot. That is high. Those are very high waves. And if we continue, look at what it shows it doing. It shows it not just doing this, but almost slamming right into New York. Look at the wave heights just before it really starts to fizzle out. 37 feet. And if this shifts over 100 miles, which is far out, this is about a week out, over a week out. This is not out of the question to shift over just a little bit and really bring mass destruction and devastation to places like New York. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to go on a break for just a little bit. Alright, I am back. So, now, let's begin. Here is the gist of what's going on. 37-foot waves off the coast of New York that could bring devastation. So, that's really where we're at with it. Very concerning. Very concerning. Something that we do need to continue to look out for. So, now that we are done with Maria, in that sense, let's see what it shows for wind speeds. So this is Jose right now, Category 1 hurricane. Here it is. Now, these models are not very good at showing the actual intensity, so this shows Maria as a Category 2, it's a 5. So, just keep that in mind as you see these wind speeds. It does show strengthening, though, and now to show a Category 3, so Category 3, which is pretty strong still. And it shows this as a really strong hurricane. Headed up, and it shows, and the yellow is tropical storm force winds on this particular model, okay? So if we see this, here it is, tropical storm force winds. Here's Jose, still a tropical storm. Here it is. And the yellow is tropical storm force. Here's strong tropical storm. Hurricane force is red. And then the purples are very intense. And then the blues and stuff. So here we are, still a very strong and powerful hurricane. And look at where it's looking like it's kind of headed straight toward. And then something steers it away. That would be a trough up to the north. If this does happen, then the people of New York should feel very lucky. But there's always a chance for change, and this could move, and could cause this to go straight in, and that would be a catastrophe. So, yeah, Maria is still a concern, and it also shows a new tropical storm out here, and that would be concerning, with maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. And it looks like it just forms out of the middle of nowhere, while Maria is here. So that's the gist of that. But yeah, still a Category 1 hurricane, at least, at this point. So yeah, there you go. Let's see what radar does indicate is going on right now in these areas. So if I bring back microcasting radar, which has still not gotten really its act together that much, we can continue to take a good look at that. There we go. Sorry, I needed to kind of bring back in the program, but there you go, with the radar and the satellite imagery. So there you go, radar and satellite imagery. Now, my apologies for just how choppy it is. Was better earlier in the stream, although now at this point it does look like there just is a problem generally with internet connection. It's on, from my point of view, looking pretty good, but I can see from the stream's point of view that this is not looking good at all. So yeah, I mean, it still does show you the general impacts that Jose is bringing, and Jose is the most immediate threat to land, I will admit, and one of the most concerning threats. Well, I think I might just end the stream here. I hope you did like it. If you did, hit the like button down below. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Okay, so if there are any questions that come in, I guess I'll stay to answer those. So I'm just gonna be here right real quick because of the delay. So all right, let's see. Any questions? No. Okay. Well then. I think I'm gonna end the stream. Alright, there we go.